If you've ever felt your heart sink at a family gathering when someone leans in and asks, "So, when are you getting married?" You're not alone. For so many people, especially women, this question isn't just a casual conversation starter. It's a loaded reminder of expectations, timelines, and the invisible checklist society seems to hand out at birth. Maybe you're the type who rolls your eyes and laughs it off, or maybe you feel a twinge of anxiety every time the topic comes up. Either way, the pressure is real, and it's everywhere. From family dinners to social media feeds, from well-meaning friends to complete strangers who think your relationship status is their business. The calendar becomes a silent judge, each birthday a reminder that you're supposed to be hitting certain milestones. You might not even want to get married, or maybe you just want to do it on your own terms, but the pressure still creeps in. It's like there's an invisible clock ticking, and everyone around you can hear it. Enter Emma Watson, a woman who's been in the public eye since she was a child, who's grown up under the microscope of fame, and who's never been afraid to speak her mind. Whether you know her as Hermione Granger, a UN Women Goodwill Ambassador, or a passionate advocate for gender equality, Emma has always stood out for her intelligence, independence, and willingness to challenge the status quo. Now, at 35, Emma Watson is once again making headlines, not for a new movie or a red carpet look, but for her bold, unapologetic stance on marriage pressure. She's become a symbol for anyone who's ever felt suffocated by expectations, and she's not backing down. In fact, she's doubling down, using her platform to spark a conversation that's long overdue. She's 35, single, and not afraid to say it. In a world that often equates a woman's worth with her relationship status, Emma's confidence is both refreshing and revolutionary. She's not hiding, she's not apologizing, and she's certainly not letting anyone else define her happiness. Instead, she's using her voice to challenge the narrative. She's standing on stages, sitting in interviews, and telling the world that it's okay to be single at 35, or at any age. She's reminding us that happiness doesn't come with a deadline, and that fulfillment isn't measured by a wedding ring. And now, she's made her boldest statement yet, one that's got everyone talking. The internet is buzzing, news outlets are scrambling, and social media is ablaze with opinions. Why? Because Emma Watson just called out marriage pressure in a way that's impossible to ignore. At 35, Emma Watson is not just living her truth. She's challenging the very foundation of what society expects from women her age. She's sparking a massive debate, and it's not just about her. It's about all of us who've ever felt the weight of other people's expectations. The headlines are everywhere. Emma Watson says marriage pressure is violence. It's a statement that's as provocative as it is powerful. People are dissecting her words, debating her intent, and questioning what it really means to feel pressured into marriage. She didn't mince words. She called marriage pressure, quote, a violence against young people. That's not a phrase you hear every day. It's strong, it's direct, and it's making people uncomfortable, which, honestly, might be exactly the point. The reaction? Shock, disbelief, and a whole lot of gossip. Some people are outraged, saying she's gone too far. Others are nodding in agreement, finally feeling seen and heard. The conversation is loud, messy, and absolutely necessary. Social media exploded with hot takes. Some users shared their own stories of being pressured by family, friends, or even co-workers. Others argued that calling it violence is an exaggeration, that it's just tradition, or that it's a harmless question. But for many, Emma's words hit home in a way that nothing else has. Of course, this isn't the first time Emma's challenged the status quo. Remember when she coined the term self-partnered? That single phrase sparked a global conversation about self-love, independence, and the idea that you don't need a partner to be complete. It was controversial then, and it's even more relevant now. Emma's not just talking the talk, she's walking the walk. She's used her platform at the United Nations to advocate for women's rights, to challenge gender stereotypes, and to encourage people to think differently about what it means to live a fulfilling life. Her message is clear. You don't have to follow the script that society hands you. And now, she's calling out those moments we all dread. The awkward family dinners, the pointed questions from relatives, the subtle or not so subtle hints that you're falling behind. It's not just annoying. For some, it's genuinely distressing. Think about it. How many times have you been cornered by a friend or family member who just can't help but ask about your love life? It's as if your relationship status is the most interesting thing about you, and everything else, your career, your passions, your dreams, takes a back seat. The questions come in all shapes and sizes. Sometimes it's a gentle nudge, sometimes it's a full-on interrogation. But the message is always the same. You're not enough until you're married. So, when's the wedding? It's a question that can make even the most confident person squirm. For some, it's a reminder of what they want but haven't found yet. For others, it's a reminder of what they don't want at all. The internet, of course, exploded. Within hours, Emma's statement was trending worldwide. People from all walks of life weighed in. Some with support, some with criticism, but almost everyone with an opinion. Hashtags like marriage pressure and Emma Watson trended for days. People shared memes, personal stories, and even statistics about marriage trends around the world. The conversation quickly grew beyond Emma herself, touching on issues of gender, culture, and generational change. Some folks are cheering her on, saying she's finally giving a voice to everyone who's tired of being measured by their relationship status. For them, Emma's words are a breath of fresh air, a validation of feelings they've carried for years. They're sharing stories of relief, of finally feeling seen. For the first time, someone in the spotlight is saying what they've always wanted to say, that it's okay to live life on your own terms, without apology or explanation. There's a sense of solidarity, of community. People are coming together to support each other, to push back against the idea that marriage is the only path to happiness. But not everyone is on board. Some people are clutching their wedding invitations a little tighter, feeling defensive or even attacked by Emma's words. For them, marriage is a cherished tradition, a milestone to be celebrated, not something to be criticized. They worry that calling marriage pressure violence goes too far, that it diminishes the value of marriage itself. Some argue that it's just a question, just a tradition, and that there's nothing wrong with wanting the best for your loved ones. But here's the thing. Emma's words open up a bigger conversation. They force us to ask why we put so much pressure on people to follow a certain path, and what it costs us when we do. Around the world, people are gathering in coffee shops, living rooms, and online forums to debate what it really means to be happy, to be fulfilled, and to be true to yourself. The conversation is bigger than Emma. It's about all of us. Why does society still pressure people to marry by a certain age? Is it about tradition, about family, about fear of being alone? Or is it something deeper, a need to fit in, to be accepted, to feel like you're doing life right? The average age of marriage is rising around the world, but the pressure hasn't gone away. If anything, it's gotten more intense, as people try to balance personal goals with cultural expectations. The result? Anxiety, stress, and sometimes even resentment. So, is it time we all chill out and let people live their lives? Shouldn't happiness be defined by the individual, not by a checklist handed down from previous generations? Imagine a world where people are free to pursue their passions, build their careers, travel the world, or simply enjoy their own company without being judged for not settling down by a certain age. What if we celebrated all kinds of milestones, personal growth, creative achievements, acts of kindness, just as much as we celebrate weddings. What if we encouraged each other to live authentically, whatever that looks like? What do you think? Is marriage pressure a violence, or just tradition? Is it time to rethink the questions we ask, the expectations we set, and the way we measure success? Maybe for some, marriage is a beautiful tradition, a source of joy and connection. For others, it's not the right fit, and that's okay. The real violence, perhaps, is in forcing people to choose a path that isn't their own. So, let's keep the conversation going. Drop your thoughts below. Have you felt marriage pressure? How did you handle it? Do you agree with Emma, or do you see things differently? And if you want more honest conversations about life, love, and everything in between, don't forget to like, subscribe, and join our community. Hit that bell for more hot takes. And remember, your life, your timeline, your happiness. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise.